This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, yesterday we discussed about this pipeline script, right? And we have created a pipeline script job using the scripted way. So I hope everyone has practiced this scripted way. Anybody have any questions, guys? Guys, this is very important. Without creating the job using the pipeline, we are not going to do now nowadays. Okay, so some people were asking the freestyle when we are going to use it. So if you want to run suppose if you want to run some Selenium test cases, the shell scripts, you can go with freestyle, right? For running Selenium shell scripts and all, you don't want this pipeline script and pipeline script jobs. Okay, so if you want to customize your CI/CD flow, and if you want to integrate external tools like Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, okay, we are going to use this pipeline script. Okay, so we are going to integrate Docker Kubernetes. It is very important. Those two. Once we'll finish the Docker Kubernetes, you can upload the resume. Okay, easily will get the job. So yesterday, she called me and she's sharing her experience on this interview. She's saying that, sir, whatever that class you discussed in that, everything from that class only it came in the Git, the branching strategy. She's saying that, sir, I have attended almost 8 interviews. In all the interviews, they ask this question: branching strategy, Git branching strategy. So whatever I have explained, same way she explained. And Git fetch, Git pull, rebase, merge, differences. Okay, difference between Git rebase and Git merge, Git pull, Git fetch. These are common questions. Okay, even in this Jenkins also they asked her to write the pipeline script, whether it is a scripted or declarative. Can you write just a sample? See, guys, you don't want to write all these things. Just you can explain it. We are going to use the properties to configure these things. So use the def keyword. So in one of the interview, they ask this full syntax. So if you want to get that Maven path, okay, how you are going to get? Can you write like this? This one they ask. So you can write the stages, but inside this one you can keep like dot like this. So here just mention that here we will write a code to get the source code, like that you can mention. Okay, so if it is simple core commands, you can mention mn clean package like this. Clear? Okay, so today we are going to discuss about that master slave architecture. Okay, 1 second, let me open that. See, in the left side here it is there, right? So whatever the Jenkins we have installed right now, this Jenkins we are going to call as master instance. Okay, we're going to call as master instance. Okay, and we are going to create that slaves, or we are going to call as nodes. So if you want to create a slave or node, we are going to use that different Linux servers. In the same Linux server where the Jenkins is installed, we are not going to create it. That is not the ideal case. So first of all, why we need to create this master slave architecture? Why? See here, assume in this master instance, you have created hundreds of jobs. In this Jenkins master instance, you have created hundreds of jobs. Okay, so all jobs triggered at a time, assume. So as a result, your performance going to be down. Okay, so to improve the performance, to improve the performance, we are going to create this slaves, or we can call it nodes, not for high availability, to improve the performance. So instead of running all the jobs in master instance, if you distribute that load to other instances, automatically performance will increase or not. Yes or no? To improve the performance, we are going to implement this. We are going to create that master slave architecture. So I think already I told this one 2 months back. One of our student, he got the job because of this one. So they asked him to share his screen and hey, can you create that master slave architecture? Okay, so he installed Jenkins. He created a one slave and he connected and he showed that one. He got the job and he is working. 1 year experience. That guy. Okay, so if you want to create this master, this slave, this slave, we need that one Linux server. In that Linux server, you have to install the Jenkins Java. You have to install the Java. Without installing the Java, you are not able to create this slave, or we can call as node. Node or slave, both are same guys. Okay. See here, one of the entry question. When you are going to create a slave in this Linux server, again, do we need to install the Jenkins? Do we need to install the Jenkins again in this Linux server? No. If you install the Jenkins again, it will be a master instance. Master instance. Right. So here in this Linux server, you can create this slave. So this slave, it may be in the Windows also. See here, right now we are using the Linux server. Okay, we are going to use Linux server now for creating this slave. You can use for Windows also. You can use MacBook also. Okay, see your master is in the Linux, your slaves will be in Windows, right? Your slaves will be in other operating system also. You can do it. Okay, another interesting question. See, suppose assume we have created that 100 jobs here. In that 100 jobs, 10 jobs I'm going to run in the slave one. So jobs information, that the 10 jobs information is whatever the jobs you have configured to run in slave one. That the jobs information is available in the master or slave. Master instance. So all the jobs information is available in the master, because we are going to create that jobs in the master only. Okay, so jobs direct is there, na? There it is going to start. Okay, so you have configured 10 jobs to run in this slave one. Okay, so if I trigger those 10 jobs, it is going to run in the slave machine. Slave machine, right? Slave instance. In this case, so assume I have created one job. That job I am going to run in the slave one. So once if you trigger that job, it is going to download the code. It will do the build, right? So that source code where it is going to store, whether it is in the master or slave. Job information is available in the master instance, right? So now the source code will be going to store in the master or slave. Yes, it will be a slave because your job is going to run in the slave machine, right? Slave instance. It is going to get the download the source code. So that source code is going to store here. I will show you all these things. Clear? So these are the questions I faced in this interview, guys. Okay. So and one more thing. How many slaves you have created for your master instance? You can say that 6 or 8 like that one. So in one of the Jenkins master instance, we created that 6 instances. Why you created that slaves? See, for running some specific client jobs. Suppose I want to run all the Flipkart jobs. For that one, we created separate slave. For running only Node.js applications. See, if you want to run Node.js application, .NET applications, .NET applications are not going to run in Linux operating system, which are going to run in only in Windows. So that time you can create a one slave in the Windows operating system and you can run that job in the Windows. Right. So Subhani is asking if master is down, one of the slave become a master? No, never. Slaves only. Okay, master. If the master is down, you are not going to do. Okay. Even you can do it load balancing for masters also. But we are not doing if you want. Okay. So now let me create one slave one. Okay. So already one Linux server is there. In that Linux server, I am going to create this slave. So this is the server I am using for morning 7:30 batch. Okay, so now let me change to that Jenkins slave one. Jenkins slave one. You don't Maharaj is asking that do we need to configure HA for master? No need because we are not going to use that much traffic because it is a just we are running the jobs, right? We are not running the applications. So can connect. Just let's check it first whether in this Linux server Java is installed or not. See, Java is not there, right? Let's see. Without installing the Java, if you try to create a slave in this Linux server, what will happen? Okay, so if you want to create a slave, go to the manage Jenkins. See here, manage nodes and clouds. Click on this one. See, right now, only one instance is there, master instance. Whatever we are running, right? That one we are calling as master instance. See, name also MASTR, right? And it is in the Linux server, 64-bit machine, right? Now I'm going to create a one node, or we can call a slave. See here, new node. Click on this one and give the name. So I'm going to give that one name here, node 1, and select permanent agent and click on OK. So I'm giving that node name as node 1. You can give any name, guys. Okay. So right now I'm giving that node 1. Okay. And here description, description. Okay. In this description, you can mention that what is the use of this node? What is the use of this node? Okay. So that others can able to see that what is the purpose of this node we created. Okay. And the number of executors we'll discuss later. Later means we'll see after creating this one. We'll check remote root directory. See, we are going to create this node one in the different Linux server, right? In that Linux server, we need to give one path. Why? Because so related to this slave, that some files are going to create it. Where that files, and we need to store it. So let me create a one directory mkda node 1. Okay, so go inside node 1 and take this path, and save it here, save it here. Okay, node 1. Okay, so in this particular directory, it is going to store that all the files and source code also. What are the jobs it is going to run in this particular slave, it is going to store source code also. Labels. See, you can give that what are the name, the node name you can give as a label name also, or you can give different also. You can give different also. Same label name you can use for multiple slaves also. See here in this diagram, 3 slaves are there: slave 1, slave 2, slave 3. For these 3 slaves, names are slave 1, slave 2, slave 3. But label, I can give same label, but name you should not give. Label you can give. What is the benefit of giving that same label name for all these 3 slaves? See, when you are configuring the job to run in this particular slave 2, slave 3, if you give the slave name, that job is going to run in the particular slave 1 only. Assume in the slave 1 I have configured 10 jobs. Okay, so when you trigger that 10 jobs, one by one it is going to run. even though slave 2, slave 3 are available, but it is going to run in the slave 1 only. Why? Because you have configured the slave name. But if you configure the label name in that particular label, whatever that available nodes are there, available slaves are there, there it is going to run. So that is the benefit of giving the same label name for multiple slaves. So if you give the label name when you are going to configure the job in that particular label, whatever that the slaves are available in any one of the slave, your job is going to run. Your job is going to run. Okay. Now I'm giving that label name as nodes. And use this node as much as possible. Use this node as much as possible. We have other options also. Only build jobs with label expression. So we are not using this one. Use this node as much as possible. Launching method. See, right now this Linux server, this Jenkins master is in the Linux server, and then slave also we are going to create in the master. This one Linux server only. So for that time, you have to select that launch agents via SSH. Launch agents via SSH. Okay. Then here you have to mention that in which Linux server you are trying to create this agent. So take that Linux server IP address where you are going to create it. So public IP address, okay, the host name and the credentials. Okay, so from this Linux server, it has to connect to this Linux server, right? And it is going to create that slave one. So for that one, we need to give the credentials. Right now, see, Tomcat credentials, GitHub credentials, these credentials are there, right? So what you will do, click on add Jenkins. So instead of username with the private key, okay, instead of username password, use that SSH username with private key. Okay, username you can keep here ec2-user. So the private key you have to add the PEM file. So whatever that you people have that PEM file, right? So take the content. So guys, if you have multiple PEM files with you, first you can check it which PEM file you are using to connect to this Linux server. How to check? See here, it is there DevOps MSS November batch. Right, this is the different PEM file. Right, yesterday I used a different one because my Tomcat server is in this Ohio region. Right, so the whatever that servers which are in Ohio region, I used that different PEM file. See here, for all these servers, I used this DevOps training. This is the PEM file. Sir, can I use the same PEM file, the EC2 instances which are created in different regions? See, first I have created that EC2 instances in the Mumbai region. So that time I have created a EC2 instance, and at that time I have generated one PEM file. Same PEM file can I use to create the servers in different region? Yes, you can do it, but you have to do some configurations. By default, it is not going to available. So we'll discuss all these things in the AWS classes. Okay, so we are using that different right now in this case, we are using the different PEM files. Okay, so for this, we are using that DevOps MSS November batch. So open the terminal, go to the that EC2 PEM files folder. There you will see that DevOps MSS November batch, na? November batch. DevOps MSS November batch. This one, this one. So sometimes na people are going to configure different PEM file content and they're saying that I'm not able to connect it. So that's why I'm clearly explaining you should take that correct PEM file content. Cat DevOps November batch DevOps MSS November batch. Okay, from here, copy. Okay, so right click, copy. Okay, go here, paste it here. Okay, while copy paste also you should be careful. You have to copy properly and give the description. Slave one, slave one credentials. Okay, click on add. Okay, select it. Slave one credentials. Okay, some browser or what. Even yesterday also we are facing this one. Okay, then under availability, you can select keep this agent online as much as possible. We have other two more also there. Just click on here. See, bring this agent online according to a schedule. Bring this agent online when in demand and take offline when it is ideal. So we'll go with this one. Keep this agent online as much as possible. Okay. See node properties. See here under node properties, if you select whatever this one, it is going to applicable to this particular node only. If you don't select any of the node properties here, by default it will take that master node properties. Okay, click on save it. Now see, it is showing in that red color and it is saying that offline. Okay, it is not. So if it is in the red color means master and slave not connected. Both are not connected. Okay, so click on this one. See that log. Okay, click on this log. So it is saying that some host key verification, right? So go back, click on this one and click on configure. If you want to update, you can click on configure. So we missed this one, host key verification strategy. So here you have to mention that manually trusted key verification strategy. So it was not displaying right because of that browser issue. So you have to mention that manually trusted key verification. Okay, save it. Okay, now go and see the log now. Getting same error. No entry available. Hmm. Now it is connected. Okay, it is connected, but if you observe, install a Java 8 version. Okay, we are getting error now. Okay, clearly it is saying that Java is not there. Okay, so what you will do now, go here and install the Java. Log in as a root user, sudo su-. Okay, and see here one blog is there. So install the Java. So click on here, Java. Okay, so already we are in here. So you know right how to install the Java in the Linux server. A number of times we install already. Just type Control C and you can execute one more time. Sometimes problem with the servers also. So let me create one server. So 1 GB is enough. Anyway, we are not going to run much jobs, right? So anywhere. There's a problem with this one also, guys. Still it is initializing. Okay, so switch to the root user and install the Java. So it is downloading the Java RPM file. Okay, so Java is installed. Okay, so log out, create a one directory mkdir node 1, go inside node 1. So, so I think this is a path only we have given, right? But we have to change that the IP address. Okay, take this new server IP address. Okay, so go to your Jenkins. Okay, go to your node, click on configure. So if you want to update, you have to click on configure. See, the path is correct only, even in the different server also. Okay, but IP address, and even guys, same PEM file I used, same PEM file I used, right? So you can use the credentials are same. Okay, now you can click on save and click on launch agent. Second, manually trusted key verification strategy. Selected that one. Everything is same, looks good. Fifteen 206.195.157. 206.195.157. Correct only IP address. Earlier it was connected and it was saying that Java not found, right? So what is the error? So let me delete this one and let me try it new one. Node one. And let me add What is this? I think it's a browser problem for me. Okay. Let me save it and we'll come back. Okay. So now agent successfully connected and online. You see now we are not going to see that any red color, right? And also if you go and see here now, see remoting one directory has created and it is going to use that one jar file, right? It is going to use one jar file, right? So in one of the interview they asked what is the jar file it is going to use to communicating from your master to the slave. So this one remoting.jar file. So Paramir is asking what was the reason it was not connecting. So first the problem is Jenkins Java was not there and sometimes we didn't select this manually trusted key verification strategy, right? So if you see here initially I didn't select this one manually trusted key verification strategy. This is the reason. Okay, and sometimes it is not going to see. First we didn't given this one. This is the reason. First reason. After that I have given, but it is not taking. Okay, so it is taking that old configurations only. Right now your node one is ready. Like this, you can create n number of nodes here. Okay, now but we created new machine as well as right. Why so? Yeah, that is the some problem with the network also. Even see in that uh, server one in this one, even some issue with installing the Java and all. Right. So the problem with the server here. Okay. So if you use that enterprise edition of this AWS, na, you are not going to see this kind of issues and all. So we are using that free account, right? So that's why we'll see that there's correction issues also. Okay. So now what I will do, and one more thing, just observe it here. Only remoting jar file dot jar and one directory is there. So these two, this file and directory related to your agent means that slave one related files. Okay. Now what I will do, I am going to configure one job. So go to the Jenkins dashboard. See here, jobs are right. So for a Maven project type or any one of these jobs, you can configure to run that particular node one. So click on this one. Okay, click on configure. So if you don't want to run with build with parameters, if you want, you can or you can leave it. So what is the option where I can go and mention that run in this particular node one or slave one? What is that option? So we will see that this option restrict where this project can be run. Restrict where this project can be run. This is the option. right? So select this one. This is the checkbox. You can select it. Okay, where it went. This one. See, I have selected restrict where this project can be run. Here you have to give that either a node name or label name. Okay, so if you give the label name, in that label, whatever that node is going to available in that particular node, it is going to run. So if you give the label name, if you give the node name, in that particular node only it is going to run. So I'm going to give that nodes. Okay, see, label nodes matches one node, means right now in that particular label only one node is there. Yes, only one node is there. Okay, save it. Now if you go and trigger this job, okay, it is going to run in where, in the slave one. If you want, you can go and see building remotely on node 1. Even in see the workspace also, in home, the ECT user home directory node 1, here it is created. And if you observe, we got a error. What is the error? When it is trying to get the code, it is the git commands it is trying to execute. It is saying that just go and see caused by. Guys, when you are seeing error, you have to check that the caused by. So what is the cause for getting this error? See, it is saying that cannot run git, means git is not installed in the this particular Linux server. In this Linux server, git is not installed. Okay, so go ahead and install here sudo yum install git -y. It is done. Right. If you want, you can verify it. See, install. Now you can go ahead and trigger the job. See, check that console output. See, building remote LAN node 1. This is your slave. Okay, see, it is. If you observe, it is executing that maven commands. Did we install that maven? No, right? But how it is working? See, we have installed maven through global tool configuration in the master instance. So from there, it took all these maven related configurations. Right now, if you go and see here, see tools directory and the workspace directory. Right here. So in the tools directory, you will see that maven software. In the workspace directory, you will see that source code. See, go inside Flipkart. See, you will see that source code. Yes or no? So source code is going to available in the node where your job is running. Clear? So if it is a freestyle project or Maven project type, we are going to configure using that option restrict where this project can be run. Right. Suppose if it is a pipeline project type, so this is the job we created using the pipeline. If you click on this one and if you go and see, click on configure, see here, eh, if you go and see here, you are never going to see that option restrict where this project can be run. Go and check it. So from starting, if you go and see, just observe, do we have? See, we don't have. Then where we are going to configure that slave information and how to mention, how to tell to this job, hey, go ahead and run in that particular node one. Hmm? How to? So I want to run in this node one. How to? You people has to answer. See, if you see here, I mentioned. So if you want to run in specific node, you have to mention the name. So if you don't specify any node name, by default it is going to run in the master instance. Yes or no? So go to the Jenkins file. Okay, for this project, we use that repository is, take this repository URL. Okay, and go to your repository. Here, if you see that in the development branch, see we use the development branch for getting the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, there you will see that Jenkins file 6 MB and click on edit icon. Okay, so here under node you have to give that node 1, node 1. Okay, save, commit the changes. Now if you go and trigger this job, okay, it is going to run in the slave 1. Observe, running on node 1. And if you go and see here, you will see that in the workspace, you will see the two jobs, see, two directories, Flipkart-dev, Flipkart-pipeline script project. Right, earlier only two, only this Flipkart related. Now another job also running. Right, so now I have configured that these two jobs, this job and this job. So if I trigger both jobs at a time, okay, yes, yes, Paramveer, you can give that label name or the node name, your wish. Okay, in that pipeline script, you can give the label name also. Okay, now if I trigger both jobs at a time, both jobs are going to run. Let's see. We'll trigger build with parameters, click on build, and we'll run this job. So right now it is running here. If I run this job also now, what will happen? See here, build is in the queue because right now it is going to run only one job. Why? Because the number of executors is 1. Number of executors is 1. So once this build is over, then only this job is going to run. Okay, then only this job is going to run. Until that it is going. See, now this job is running. That job is over. This job is. Now I want to increase that number of executors. So if you use the, if you increase the number of executors to 2, automatically both both jobs at a time it is going to. So click on this one. node 1, click on configure. See here, now I'm going to increase to the 5. So on what basis this number of executors you are going to increase? It depends on your server configurations. Your server configurations are good. Okay, your server configurations are good, then you can increase this one, RAM, okay, and CPU. Based on that one you have to, okay, save it. Now you can go ahead and see, now it is showing that 5, right? Now if you go and trigger this job and this job, both jobs can run at a time. See, both jobs are running. See here in the node 1, this job and this job, both jobs are running. Clear? Yes, Paramveer, it depends on number of cores of CPUs. Okay, CPU configurations means number of cores. Okay, if it is a single core, we are not going to give n number of executors, right? Clear? So like this, guys, you can create n number of slaves and you can configure it. Clear? Okay, so Kameshwari is asking that can we run multiple builds in the same job? So he is saying that you can go and trigger this one, and next immediately again you can trigger this one. Okay, so usually it is not going to run. See, it is waiting. Once this is going to over, okay, this trigger, then only it is going to be. Even though see it is node 1 is available, but it is not going to be. Clear? Mm. So wait time is when it is going to finish, see, automatically it will come. Okay, if job is taking 1 hour to finish, it is going to be the wait time is 1 hour. Automatically your Jenkins will going to take it. It will be in the queue. Once it is free, once it is done, it will automatically it will run it. We are not going to take care of all these things. Clear? Anybody have any questions? So guys, this is very important. Yes, even if the job fails also, it is going to trigger. Yes, it will be. Okay. Can we pass the existing execution and run the building? No, it is not possible. We are not able to pass. Once if we trigger the job, Rajendra, we are not able to pass. We can stop it. We are not able to pass, but we can stop it. Maximum how many slaves we can configure. So that is what I was saying in the initially. I configured 5. Okay, so as per my project requirement, maximum I didn't see. In one of the CloudBees Jenkins, which I was referring my students Jenkins server, in that one 24 or something it was there like that one in the CloudBees Jenkins. Oh, even in your even in your company also CloudBees Jenkins 20? Yes, even in one of my students machine I saw that 22 something it was there. Okay. Oh, Govind is saying that 24. Mhm. We're using CloudBees. Yes, even they are also using the CloudBees Jenkins only. Good guys. So See, many people are using already. So, guys, see, don't say that 100 and all. Give that relative number. Okay. If you say 100, na, then they will assume you don't have experience. You are a fake experience guy in this. Clear? Anybody have any questions? So we'll discuss other topics tomorrow class. So guys, you should do that more and more practice. Okay. So Kameshwar, can you answer for his question? So just check it and help him. Okay. Paramveer is asking what is the configuration for 22, not 22 executors, Baya. Okay. 22 slaves. 22 slaves. Okay. Not the executors. Yes, I will agree with comments. It depends on your jobs also. See, some jobs are it is going to do more work. See, I created this job. Okay, so this job is going to take 1 hour. Means it is processing time is taking more. It is doing lot of things. I created another job. Maybe 5 minutes it is going to over. So it depends on your that job size also. How much time it is going to take. The based on processing time also. Okay, clear? So guys, you people should do that more and more practice. So tomorrow we'll continue like a backup, all these things. So Jenkins, it will over tomorrow. Okay, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.